What is up, guys? We are here for the American Grand Prix in this career mode. There's not many rounds left. This is round 17 of the championship. After this, we only have 3 more races to clinch the championship. We've got Mexico, Brazil, and then, of course, the final race of the season under the lights in Abu Dhabi. Now, we didn't do too bad. We got P2 in qualifying, just behind Hamilton, who is currently leading the drivers' standings at the moment. We're going to do what we can to make sure we get off to a fantastic start, as the lights are ready to go out any second now. And we are underway. Hamilton gets a little bit of wheel spin, a bit of a good start from the force in the back. We get bogged down by the Mercedes and the Red Bull, but we're going to look to the inside of Lewis Hamilton into turn 1. I'm going to go side by side all the way through turn 1. It looks like we're going to go side by side into turn 2 and possibly turn 3, which is going to be kind of dangerous considering how tight this corner is. We're going to go side by side. We bang wheels. We go wide, and Hamilton gets collected by Ricciardo. We go off to the left-hand side to try and avoid any chaos, but Hamilton ended up going into Daniel Ricciardo, so Ricciardo could have damage from that. The VSC is out, as you can see in the top left-hand corner, so that was an absolutely chaotic start to the Grand Prix with us going into Vettel. But the VSC is about to end, and we're going to have a look at Bottas coming in to the hairpin, and it looks like he's going to be napping on the exit of turn 12, so we're going to take off that position from Valtteri Bottas. So we move up to second. We've got Hamilton, who definitely has damage at this point, and we've got Kimi. He goes a little bit wide, and Kimi's going to try and come through, and he hits Hamilton. Hamilton's been hit by Kimi, and then he gets collected again by Romain Grosjean. So Hamilton, it looks like he's out. Hamilton is going to have to retire the car after having 3 very heavy hits from Ricciardo, Grosjean, and Kimi as well. So Hamilton has retired from the Grand Prix while we're making moves on Daniel Ricciardo. He's going to squeeze us to the outside, but that's not going to bother us. We are going to go past turn 12 and take the lead of the race. But a little bit later on in the Grand Prix, lap 5, nothing really happened in between this period. It was kind of a bit of a lull, but you can see Verstappen getting past Felipe Massa. Our teammate Kimi in the background, he sustained no damage when he hit Hamilton, but Grosjean unfortunately lost his front wing and had to go to the back of the field. But absolutely crazy start to the race. We went in to turn 1 side by side with Hamilton. Obviously we banged tyres. We went left, Hamilton went right, and Hamilton ended up spinning, losing control, and actually getting hit by Ricciardo, damaging his front wing, which was lucky for him that was the only damage really to his Mercedes at the time. But Hamilton has had to retire, so assuming we can continue this lead, we'll have a nice little gap going into Mexico in the final 3 rounds of the championship to possibly clinch it. At this rate, maybe even before, because Hamilton didn't score any points back in Japan. But we're coming up to our teammate now, Kimi, who has got an engine issue. He is going very slowly, very similar like in Japan. He had an issue there, but he ended up having to change his front wing, so that wasn't really good for him. But Hamilton in trouble right now in terms of the championship. We've got Kevin Magnussen now looking at Pascal Wehrlein. He seems to be clear ahead, but Magnussen does lock his front right tyre, and Wehrlein's going to say, thank you very much, I'll take that position back from yourself. Carlos Sainz just in the background there, not doing too well as we set our fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We're going to take back the lead of the Grand Prix as soon as Verstappen pits. Verstappen staying out for an extra lap, which is he's running quite deep into this race, which is pretty interesting for him. We've got Kimi, who I said earlier, who has engine issues. Here comes Sergio Perez, going to dart to the right-hand side, and he's going to try and get down Kimi's inside. They're going to bang tyres a little bit as Perez chucks his hand in frustration, but Kimi will have the inside for the next corner. He's going to push Perez wide just a little bit to get his elbows out, because Kimi's really fighting hard considering the engine issues he has got. We're going to have a look at a replay, because the change of lead has happened at the Grand Prix. So Sebastian Vettel is currently leading. He comes out and he just bottles it. He just drops the car under acceleration. He spins on the grass, and he looks like he'll get back onto the track fine. But there goes Ricciardo and Bottas. So those two have gone through, and now those two are leading the Grand Prix. So Ricciardo leading ahead from Bottas, and Vettel in some real trouble. We'll see here, he just drops it under acceleration, and that's got to be awful to see Ricciardo and Bottas there as you spin, and knowing that they're going to take the lead of the Grand Prix. So Vettel has got some work to do in terms of getting back to those 2 drivers. He'll have to take it easy because of the grass. But here goes Perez this time. He's going to go around the outside of Kimi Räikkönen. This could work in his favour, because he'll have the inside line for the next corner. Now he pushes Kimi out wide. A bit of payback, it seems, to Kimi Räikkönen for doing the same to Perez. But Perez does manage to make through. on Kimi Raikkonen. But a little bit further back up the grid, we've got Danny Kvyat having a look at Fernando Alonso. Very simple move for the Russian driver. We're going to move back onto on our onboard, and you can see we've slowly caught up to Bottas a little bit. We've got our DRS, and we're going to have to make a lunge. We haven't got any choice. We don't want to lose any opportunity to score points on Hamilton. We come so close to Bottas as we come through turn one. We're going to go side by side. We saw how this happened, ended with Hamilton. I hope it isn't going to be the same again. We're going to go, and it looks like Bottas is going to... He's going to blink first. Bottas did break going into the S section, so we managed to get past Valtteri Bottas. We're up to the back of Daniel Ricciardo at the end of lap 10, about to start lap 11, and we just got such better acceleration out of that corner than Daniel Ricciardo did. So we're going to absolutely cruise past Daniel Ricciardo going into turn one, and we retake the lead after that really, really odd error. It happens quite often. Like, I always lose the car around that section of the track, so I'm not quite sure why that happens, but it just seems to me like the car just bottoms out. But here is Bottas trying to go down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo. Bottas locks up. I don't think he saw what happened to Perez and Kimi, because now Ricciardo will have the inside line. He's a bit further back, but Ricciardo will stick his nose up the inside of Bottas. Bottas will chuck his hand up. He gets forced a little bit wide, I think, but he manages to hold on and keep that position, but not for much longer, because Bottas has got a great run out of that final corner. It's basically what we did, but it looks like Ricciardo he's gonna fight this, because Ricciardo really wants his second place. He actually beats Bottas out of turn one, but they're gonna go side by side through the S section. Let's see if Bottas can actually win this one. He lost it to us. Bottas is gonna get ahead, and he's gonna actually squeeze back onto the track just ahead of Ricciardo. Ricciardo definitely had to brake there, otherwise he'd have gone straight into the back of Valtteri Bottas, which would have been obviously not very good for him. We've got Kimi Raikkonen, our teammate, who is put into the left-hand side with an engine blowout, and that is so frustrating as we want to get as many points in the Constructors. But here is the replacement for Pierre Gasly for this race. Brendan Hartley is doing a solid job at the moment. He is inside the points, just behind Nico Hulkenberg, so fair play to the New Zealand driver. We've got Grosjean, under attack from Carlos Sainz, but we're not going to see the end to that battle, because we're about to cross the line and win the race. Carlos Sainz did make that move happen. The only highlight, Carlos Sainz had all race in his Renault car, but we do manage to take the win of another crazy race in terms of the championship. Last race was mad because everyone more or less got penalties at the front. This race, me and Hamilton collided into turn one, which was a fairly even move, but at the same time, the collision with Ricciardo and Kimi and Grosjean, that's just, it's unlucky, but I don't think anything will happen to do with that, because it was kind of like a racing incident. But Stoffel Van Dorn not getting any points, sadly, in his McLaren. But there we are. Sebastian Vettel does win the American Grand Prix. It's 2 wins in a row with 3 races to go. And we're going to have a look at the drivers' standings in just a second, and the Constructors, obviously, just to see how we're faring. And, you know, we're not doing too bad at the moment. We've got a bit of a gap to Hamilton in the drivers. Raikkonen is going to be overtaken by Bottas very shortly. Ricciardo and Verstappen are very close, but we move up to the top of the drivers' standings, Constructors. See how it goes in Mexico. Until then, guys, bye-bye.